I like that. I think freedom is the ability to say no. I think a lot of people think freedom is the ability to say yes to whatever you want.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I like that.
I think it's, if anything, though, it's the ability to do either. It's just
I think
the
you
freedom
gotta
is the
have
choice.
both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the choice to be able to say no or yes.
Yeah.
And have, whatever reason. And it doesn't have to be a reason. You could literally just, I didn't feel like this or I feel like this.
I agree, but I think a lot of people, when they think freedom, they're like, I have to be able to do this.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's what leads to addiction. Like, you say yes so many times that you are unable to like say no. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's interesting. I've never thought of it like that. Because I do agree with you. I do think that people they think of freedom as the ability to say yes. Yeah.
I mean, both ways, though. You can also just argue or just say no. Like,
Yeah, I
there's something you don't feel like doing. No.
Yeah. I don't want to eat that
Yeah.
today.
I think
Go ahead.
saying no is freeing in itself, because having the ability to say no is having the ability to control what you do, and the ability to control what you do is free will, I feel like.
Like,
Yeah.
I think, for example, maybe a year and a half ago, I stopped cussing, right? And I realized how, like, at first I didn't want to stop cussing because I was like, I can say whatever I want, right? And then now, like, a year and a half later, like, not saying any cuss words, I realized that, like, this is freeing, that, like, if I were to cuss, it would be a thought that I'm choosing to do it. And I feel like a lot of the times, like, people are scared of their free will being acted on because they don't realize that, like, the thing that they're scared to get away from or say no to actually has more power over them than they realize.
Or maybe just the why. The why is important, right? Because, like, I couldn't care less if I cursed or not. But when I was 15, I did, when I was going through a certain phase of, like, my faith in God, I was like, okay, I don't want to curse ever. I'd say fudge and, oh, darn, that, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And at some point, I'm like, fuck it. I'm, like, just like, I don't, you kind of sometimes,
Yeah.
in a way, you're, like, wrestling with radicals or, like, extremes. But at the end of the day, like, your why or the reason why behind why you don't want to curse could be, is an important part of that.
Well, I was saying I guess the why is kind of important. I was saying more so my why for, like, not wanting to stop, what that was based in, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And I think it's easier to get behind the why of, like, why you do something. Like, it's a whole different thing to get into the why of, like,
100%.
why can't you take a break from work?
Low key. Why can't you just stop doing this drug? Why can't you just stop? Yeah.
And I think asking people that question, they don't realize that, like, your ability to do what you want isn't freedom, because you would do that anyways. Like, you would say yes. Your ability to, like, why am I doing this? Maybe I shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
That takes this level of, like, mindful freedom that, like, I don't think exists by just, like, doing naturally, like, what you think,
Yeah.
Like, I would say even the opposite is true. Like, for example, if there's someone who's never been to a party, right? Maybe they actually don't like it, but they're not going out of fear, right? I would say to that person, I think you should go, right? Because they're so, like, their natural disposition is, I'm not doing this thing. Now they're, like, judging and, like, seeing people, and I'm like, at least, and maybe some people never have to go to experience, but I think it's less about the experience and more like being unable to, like, do the no. I think has something to do with, like, what's going on in your heart. And the reason why I say that is because of the holier than thou people. You have people judging people in, like, a building of people, like, jumping up and down when really they're just trying to be social, right? But because your unwillingness to, like, dang, like, why is a person going, or, like, spend time with someone who is going, you never get behind the psyche of, like, why someone wants to go to a party. And even if it's not going to the party, maybe it's, like, having a friend, like, or, like, talking to someone, figuring out, like, but, like, so many people, like, just spend time with people who feed their addictions. Like, you have more people who have, whether it's religious beliefs, political beliefs, or, like, people who smoke, or, like, people who drink, like, whatever it is, anyone who, like, confirms this is what I do, they just want to keep spending time with those people.
But that is most people in almost anything, right? Like, you probably would not have the best relationship with somebody who's Jewish.
No,
'Cause if
one
every
of my
single-
best friends is Jewish.
Okay.
One
So,
of my business partner, my best, he's Muslim.
what do you guys talk about?
Anything. Like
Okay.
occasionally it'll come up where like we disagree on like fundamental.
And I'm not saying you in specific because I know you, like me and you have conversations all the time. We just talk about shit and we're just like, oh, I disagree. Like the whole conversation, we could just be arguing. But
and we'll
like,
get off like I love you,
yeah,
man.
yeah, like, safe, I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. But like fundamentally, most people don't want to talk to somebody they disagree with. And it goes back to your point of just like, if he thinks this, then he doesn't respect me. So like fundamentally, people don't want to be able to be around people who they've already drawn conclusions. Oh,
Yeah.
this person's a Republican, he's this. This person is this, he's that. And they just put them in a box. And because they can't see themselves in that same box, they just like, okay, keep that away from me. And of course, that builds an echo chamber. That breeds you being around
Yeah.
only people who think just like you.
An echo chamber is just saying yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
that's
have to have disagreements.
yeah. I mean, there's so much that's being pushed like all the time now. I think probably like 4 or 5 years ago it started. Like since the last time Donald Trump was in office. I mean, I think it started with the first time he was in office. It was the whole like, you know, if you have friends that are of this political sphere, then don't be friends with them anymore. Like,
Yeah.
if you have family members that are of this moral compass or of this belief system, then, you know, write them off. And it's just like, what the?
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
real divisive, like
Yeah, just very like, you know, we cannot be together as one. There's no such thing as respecting someone if you stand for this person. It's like,
that's what politics has gone to though. Like just
Yeah.
kind of like you can't agree. Like it's just
Yeah.
If you don't agree completely with everything, even if you don't actually believe it,
yeah.
then you're not this or you're just on the other side. And then that's how you get like an Elon Musk down and Trump falling out because
Yeah.
Elon probably didn't really agree with everything Trump said. But at some point he goes, well, I'm not agreeing with this. And he's like, okay, well, obviously I'm not, a Trump Republican. And then all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
a big